back to my channel. I'm so excited that you are here, and I'm excited for this video because this video is everything. Okay, I don't know about it being everything, but it is one that I had a lot of fun with, and I get a bit of a giggle every time I look through the individuals that are on this, what I call the Notorious 8 list of 90 Day Fiance. Yes, it is a list of individuals, well, at least for some of them, because there's a couple of couples that I know a little bit about, but don't know much of the reason why they got removed. So this is going to be a little bit new for me. But there's a few on this list that, yeah, it was time for them to go. And they were given, that ever so often statement that your services are no longer needed. And boy, were we better for it. Not everybody needs to have that moment of fame on such a loud and huge platform. And so I'm so glad that these individuals, not all of the people, obviously, because I'm not connected to everyone on that list, but for a few of them, I'm glad they're no longer on here. Yeah, I'm so glad. Now, as I've shared, I don't really watch 90 Days as much as I used to. I actually used to be a real avid fan. I'd make sure I'd be right in front and center, ready for the Sunday premiere every Sunday. I used to watch all of the Pillow Talks as well. I used to get into the Other Way and some of the other franchise elements of the series. I did like Last Resort. I did enjoy some of the tell-alls as well, although I did not watch the very fiery tell-all that they had this last season. And that being said, there's also probably someone else that should be added to this list, but I digress. So when I came across this sharing, I thought, well, how funny it would be for me to go ahead and just do the video on a Sunday, because that's the night that it normally premieres. Even though I'm not really watching it, maybe you are, and maybe you may be glad that some of these people aren't on the show either. But I would definitely want to know your thoughts as you are hearing the reasons, maybe, or at least seeing the list, if you could think of anyone else that could be added to the list. Now, we are going to be going down the path a little bit into the history, obviously, because all of these people have become history on the franchise, and two allegedly. So we'll see how that all, plays a part, and maybe it will or maybe it won't. But as of right now, they've been tagged on this list. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into what I guess I would like to call the Notorious 8. All right, so as you see, we are talking about 90 Day Fiance, and we are going to start off. Do you remember this Peach? Oh yeah, wasn't she quite the taker? Yeah. Let's get into it. Okay. So according to Reality Tea, every 90 Day Fiance star who's been, well, as they put quite bluntly, fired by TLC. Whew. I mean, even I try to say, just no longer needed or escort. They just went right straight for the jugular. So we're just going to go with it, right? The 90 Day Fiance franchise has been going strong for the last 10 years throughout the past decade. The franchise has aired dozens of seasons of many different spinoffs. Of course, this has led to fans getting to know hundreds of cast members from all around the world. As the show evolves around Americans who date a foreign partner, about half of the cast is generally from overseas. When it comes to diversity, 90 Day Fiancé beats just about any other reality television show. Now, while every individual cast on 90 Day Fiancé has to complete a background check, producers don't always catch everything. Throughout the show's history, several cast members have been fired after problematic content from their past resurfaces. On the other hand, others have been let go for behaviors that took part in or after filming. Several cast members seem to have been fired, but were never confirmed by the franchise. So these are all of the 90 Day Fiancé cast members TLC has fired, both definitely and allegedly. So we're starting off with the Peach herself, fired by TLC, Lissa Ham. Now, Lissa Ham was fired from the franchise following her appearance on 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 Days Season 4. During Season 4, Lissa married her ex-husband, Usman Umar. The marriage didn't last long, however, and the former couple had a messy split. Usman then revealed that Lissa, baby girl Lissa, had called him the N-word on numerous occasions, which she didn't deny. As a result of the inappropriate racial slur, TLC said fired, and they fired Lissa and cut ties with her immediately. This was important as it showed that TLC doesn't accept any form of racism whatsoever. All right. Next up, because we don't need to see her anymore, would be, remember him? Oh my gosh, this guy here, right? Woo wee. This guy, the storyline actually of him was actually quite fun and interesting because he basically got with his girl Vara from Russia, and they were together. But he had this longing best friend that was here in the States with him, and him and Vara had a problem, and they broke up, and so he started messing back with the best friend, and then Vara shows up, to his house at the front door, and then that best friend was like kicked out of there. I think her name was Mary. Yeah, that was just the beginning of his troubles, right? So let's get into what was going on with good old Jeffrey Pascal. All right, so him fired by TLC. Jeffrey Pascal. I think Pascal, whatever. It doesn't even matter, right? Because he's not around anyways. So Jeffrey is another controversial cast member from before the 90 Day season 4. During season 4, Jeffrey traveled to Russia to meet his girlfriend, Vara Malina. While Jeffrey's segments with Vara aired, the couple was later excluded from the tell-all. After the season, disturbing details from Jeffrey's past began to emerge. In particular, Jeffrey was the defendant in a domestic ABUSC case involving his ex. Jeffrey is now in prison. Let's go back. He is now in prison where he is serving an 18-year sentence, y'all. An 18, oh my gosh. That is like a whole, child. 18 years. Wow. I thought it was only 12 for some reason. 18 years. I got that rep, so you got your for 18 years, but wow. Yeah. I saw a little bit about that case. I don't know if you have, but it was a bit of a doozy. He was quite the angry person, to say the least. Was not kind, very much terrorizing in his behavior. So I wasn't quite surprised that he would have a lengthy sentence, but I just forgot how long it was because I really thought it was like 12 to 18. Wow, that's amazing. Well, look, keep your hands to yourself and you won't have these problems. Next up, a next regrettable cast member would be, remember her? Fired, Alina. We don't have to say the rest. So Alina was featured on Before the 90 Days season 5 with her former partner, Caleb Greenwood, who seemed to be very free-spirited and nice. I think he was from Arizona. The pair had been friends for years, but never officially dated. After meeting in person, however, Caleb decided that he couldn't commit to Alina. While viewers saw a lot of their story, it was later cut short due to Alina being fired from the franchise. Several racially insensitive comments Alina had previously made were uncovered on social media, and TLC fired her instantly. Neither Alina nor Caleb had participated in the season 5 tell-all. Yeah, because that was an abrupt firing. And quite frankly, Caleb did not seem like he was quite interested at all the entire time, so I don't think he was at all concerned or worried. I think he felt that this was going to be a one-off for him. I don't know if he had something that he was doing professionally that he thought would be a good look for him to be on the show, and it could kind of boost that, participation for whatever that thing was, because I really just kind of felt like he was just kind of here for the moment. It was an opportunity, and he seek to enjoy that opportunity for as long as it's going to be. And, it was cool. That was it. It was just a passing moment in time, right? So now we're going to move on to the next regrettable hire. Well, I don't know much about this couple. So if you are familiar, maybe you will tell me. And this is not the person I want to go to first. But, look, Larissa, I liked Larissa. So she wouldn't, I guess, I don't know, maybe to somebody. I wouldn't consider her a regrettable hire, but I think the other ones are. But yeah, I like Larissa. Larissa was fun. But she stayed on cold tea like it was nothing, right? I mean, her and Deb couldn't stand each other. Now I think that they're actually pretty cool, which is interesting. Change of events, because that Colty apparently, his real name is Cole, but I like when she goes Colty. He got married, but I think he got divorced, and so it's just interesting how Debbie, his mom, and Larissa were still cool again, but I don't know if she's still cool with the one that was an ex, who initially she was really cool with, and remember that whole Jess mess? Well, yeah, she ended up being very supportive of the relationship that he was in now he just got divorced from. And part of the reason was what? Debbie's interference. Yeah, Debbie had a real niche for interfering, didn't she? I mean, my goodness, talk about consistency. So yeah, that's what pretty much demised, I think, all the relationships for the most part. But Larissa, from what I understand, she really did a whole glow up and everything and just is doing her thing. So I don't know if she's too worried about not being part of 90 Days anymore. But let's go ahead and get into what they share as the reason why she's no longer on the franchise. All righty then. So back to Larissa. Now, Larissa, unfortunately, fired by TLC. Now, Larissa Lima appeared with her ex-husband, Nicole Johnson, on both the OG show and 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. From the jump, Colt and Larissa had a problematic relationship. Eventually, Larissa was even arrested after Colt claimed she had committed domestic battery. This wasn't the reason for her firing, however, as she still filmed for some time after this. Larissa was later let go of by TLC after joining the adult streaming website Ham Soda. Now, apparently, if you recall, if you were watching that at that time, that was pretty intense. I thought that she was probably not going to be on the show anymore because with that whole domestic situation she had to deal with, there was a real huge chance that she might be deported. I mean, that was definitely the conversation. So, but for the fact that it didn't happen, obviously, we don't always get the full scope on air. There's always a lot of things behind the scenes. So something worked itself out. But yeah, it was one of those relationships that didn't need to go any further than it did. And I'm glad she was able to get out, and hopefully she's doing much better in life. So let's go ahead and move on to the next, who I'm not familiar with this couple as far as watching them every Sunday or not, but I know a little bit about them, very little. You know how sometimes you can watch promos or previews when you're watching another show and you can kind of catch up the whole season? Yeah, this is kind of this couple for me. I know there were some issues there with them, some things that felt a little underhanded, a little bit dishonest maybe. So yeah, but if you are familiar with this, coupling and your thoughts about them no longer being on the show because allegedly they've been fired, then, yes, feel free to share that down below. But let's go ahead because this is going to be new for me too. So this couple apparently fired, allegedly, by TLC. Brandon Denio and Mary DeMasu. I hope I'm saying that right. TLC never confirmed that Brandon and Mary were fired from the network. So it's alleged for this write-up. Wasn't confirmed, but I guess apparently they're not on the show anymore. So, however, fellow 90 Day Fiance star Statler Riley insisted that they were. Following their appearance on 90 Day Fiance The Other Way, season 5, Brandon and Mary spoiled their relationship status online. This is what is such an unfortunate thing when it comes to some of these reality shows. Like, they give all the tea and the storyline on social media. Then there's nothing to watch by the time it gets here. So some do it for the ability to change the narrative or establish a narrative that they know that they want to have because they're afraid of what they'll look like to be on the show. And others just can't seem to keep themselves, I guess, in control of themselves in enough time before the show comes out. So then the whole season's spoiled if you already know what's going on. So yeah, that never really works well. So they should have known that was probably going to go downhill as well. Now, it says following the appearance, the couple shared pictures confirming they were still together and of their daughter, Midnight, who hadn't yet been born on the show. This seemingly violated their NDA, so it wouldn't be a surprise if they were fired. So they were, again, giving out that extra tea that was supposed to be for the show. I wonder what that was all about. Maybe they didn't want to be on the show anymore. Maybe they were just super excited, or maybe that's just how they roll. All right, next up, this couple. Now, I did see a little bit of this couple on, I think they might have been on The Other Way as well, but I saw a little bit of them. It didn't seem like it was going to be a situation that was going to last very long. And I didn't watch the full element of that season. And I couldn't tell you what number it was. It was probably a couple seasons ago. I don't know. But I don't know. But it didn't seem like things were going too well to begin with, but they had been together for quite some time. So I felt that to be unfortunate. So, but let's go ahead and get into it. So according to this sharing, well, they're fired by TLC. Now, this is Nicole Sheran and Mahmoud El Sherbini, and apparently the firing is alleged. So now Nicole and her husband are another couple who were allegedly let go by TLC. The couple first appeared on The Other Way season 4 and later went on to star on Happily Ever After. season 8. Before the premiere of season 8, though, news broke that her husband had been arrested for, oh my goodness, a DV against Nicole. The couple story aired for a few episodes, but later stopped mid-season as neither Nicole nor Mahmoud participated in the tell-all. Viewers began to speculate that they may have been fired. I mean, it just perplexes me how people just cannot keep their hands to themselves. All right, so yeah, I'm curious about this too. So the sharing asked this, and I want to know, and feel free to please leave it down below in the comment section. Which 90 Day Fiance cast member were you surprised to see get fired? And may I add, which one you think should probably still be fired? I almost can bet if anyone does share that, I can think of one person off the top of my head. And I have done quite a few videos, I think, that you might see on the platform. You could take a gander guess about that. So yeah, I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, I thought it was kind of interesting that, to be honest with you, for them to have so many franchise elements and so many cast members on the show, that there wasn't more on the list that was quote unquote fired. Now, I would think that there's some obviously that are just no longer on the show because their storyline no longer serves a purpose to be on the show. People have moved on, some people have gotten married and divorced. Some people have just, decided to no longer come back, but there was no reason for it other than, just didn't choose to want to air. So we wouldn't consider them fired, but maybe we might see them later on down the line. There are some couples, I can't remember the names right now, but there are a few couples and some individuals I would love to see come back who I thought made the show, kind of fun at times, but they're not here. So, we'll just have to see. There are also some couples that I've heard of some of their statuses beyond the cameras, but because they're not on the cameras, we're not really knowing how they're progressing. So I guess I'd have to do a deep dive to figure out what's going on with them. And quite frankly, I just don't have the time. But yeah, some of those individuals would be nice to see, kind of like, where they were type of thing, like what happened after, what was going on since type of thing, and just kind of put them all together for the ones who want to share. And that would be something fun, a nice little catch up, which I think that might have happened at some point in time. But yeah, that would be something that'd be kind of fun for some of those, real popular ones, I guess, for the most part. But yeah, so I would love to know your thoughts, of course, and I hope that you did enjoy the video. And if you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because I would love to have you be part of the family. Yes, I would. And yeah, I would love to know your thoughts again. So go ahead and leave those respectfully down below in the comment section. Were you surprised of any of these individuals being fired or let go? Couple of them, like they said, are alleged. So, we'll just go with that fact for those two sets. And who else you may have thought, yeah, that they should go to and that you still see now. That makes it a little bit easier, right? Cuts down a whole lot of people. And I would love to know those down below respectfully in the comment section as well. Let's have a conversation about it. And you know what? I think that about does it for this video. So of course, if you enjoyed the update, go ahead and give the video a like, as I would truly appreciate that as well. I am so glad that you were able to hang out with me. I did do a video earlier today. So if you haven't got a chance to see that one, go ahead and check that one out too. It's about RHOP. It's a bit of a additional deep dive. I don't want to say deep dive, but just kind of like an overview of some things that kind of get you, primed and ready to remember some of the things about the cast members before the premiere happened tonight, which should actually be going on by the time this uploads. Or actually, no, it will start after this upload. Check your local listings. So yeah, but definitely would like to know your thoughts on those as well. And of course, I hope that you're staying safe and taking care. As I shared in the previous video, we do know a lot of individuals are continuing to suffer from the effects of Hurricane Helene. So I do hope that people are being able to get the things that they need, because my thoughts and my prayers continue to be with you. And definitely make sure you're taking care of yourselves. We do know there's some more storms out there brewing, and one in particular that they're saying that's going to be coming down at the end of this week. This is October 6th when this is actually get uploaded, so you can get an idea of the time frame. Yeah, so definitely want to keep safe, and definitely prayers to all of you and to everyone being affected and will be affected by these storms. It seems like it's going to take a similar path, maybe not exactly, but there may be some places that were hit before that may be hit again, and then some new places, of course, because at this point the trajectory seems like the entire state of Florida. But you know how storms can go; they can change at the end. At any point in time, during, and all of that stuff. So we just all need to be really prepared. Make sure that you're checking with your local listings, checking where you need to find out what you need to do. And, please be safe during this time. This is a very rocky time to say the least here for the weather. And yeah, just want y'all to be safe. So with that being said, I'm going to bid you adieu. Thank you again for being here. Stay blessed and take care. And until next time, bye.